Hello and welcome back to G-senjou no Maou. And yeah, where did we left off? I mean, I didn't left off on a cliffhanger, even though some may thought it if they haven't looked in the description and listened to the title of the video. Sorry, that shouldn't sound very condescending. I'm sorry if it comes like this. I just wanted to hint that and the last video was split into 3 parts, one of them hidden away. That's all I'm saying. In any case, let's continue. I had just left elementary school. I was on my way to meet my dad, Samijima Toshikatsu, at his workplace. Naturally, there was no way he had the time to play around with me doing work. Thus, I figured I'd sneak up to the incredibly high rooftop to satisfy a bit of my childish curiosity. Oh, this is now where he met Haru for the first time, and she fell madly in love with him, and then after 10 years they reunite. This is adorable and very concerning at the same time. If you fell in love at that young of an age, and the love still continues even 10 years after not seeing the other person. The tower was a skyscraper, a full 50 floors from the street. The view from the roof was perfect. The white golden sky seemed to envelope me as it wrapped around the earth. It was gently spotted with shadowy clouds. As I was staring at the scenery, nice music by the way, the sun set behind the snow-tipped mountains. Even as a child, I was moved by the beautiful sky before my eyes. Until I noticed her on the other side of the fence. What are you doing? She was sitting at the edge of the roof, her legs dangling over the distant sidewalk. Was that her? What are you doing? Hey, aren't you scared? She didn't answer. Oh, okay, it's him the whole time. She was reading a thick book. Wait, that's not Haru, right? Or is it? No, that's not. Wait, that could? No. Is that? No. That's quite the short hair for her to have. I mean, the eyes seem to be the same, but this isn't Haru, right? Naturally, the wind was strong up here, and the pages blew around incessantly. Are you reading a book? God, was that loud! What does it look like? I thought she was strange, but that just made me even more interested in her. Why are you reading in a dangerous place like that? Because I feel calm here. She spoke sullenly. You aren't scared? No. If you fall, you're gonna die. It's Okay. My meat and bones will be scattered all over the place, but it's okay. I brought a garbage bag. I try to wrap myself in it when I fall. That should make the cleanup a little easier. It's very, very, very weird. She turns the page of her book while talking. You're pretty weird. Wait, what? I'm different from you people. Unlike you, I don't need to be connected to the world to keep loneliness from driving me mad. She talked about difficult abstract concepts so fluently. Are you a girl? Her short hair made her look like a boy, so this is Haru. Okay.
悪い？
Got a problem with that? Nope.
なんで？
Why not? Huh?
どうして悪くないと思ったの？女の子なら普通髪は長いでしょ？常識を逸脱してるじゃない。
Why don't you think it's weird? Girls should have long hair, right? It goes against societal norms. I didn't really get what she was talking about, but I replied anyway. I like girls with long hair.
って、そんなこと聞いてないわよ。
Wait, that's not what I asked. Oh, that's why she grew her hair so long and luscious. Makes sense now. Well, it's not like it matters, right? There's nothing wrong with having short hair. I laugh and she sulks.
あなたこそ何してるの？
What about you? What are you doing here? I'm waiting on my dad.
お父さんはここで働いてるんだ。
Your dad works here? Huh? How did you know?
あなたみたいな子供が一人でこの商社のビルに入ってこれるわけないでしょ？
There's no way a kid like you could get into this building alone. You're a kid too.
そうね。
I guess. Oh, wait. Does that mean your dad works here too?
だったら何？
So? Let's play. I'm bored.
私は暇じゃない。本を読んでる。
Well, I'm not. I'm reading a book. What are you reading? Let me see. I think I remember seeing Crime and Punishment written on the cover.
人は人を殺してもいいのか？悪とは何か？興味ある？
Are you interested in questions like should people be allowed to kill others or what is evil? Nah.
じゃあ向こう行ってて。
Then go away. What's your name?
は？
Your name. There was a strange pause.
勇者。
Hiro. What?
勇者。
Hiro. What? Hiro?
田中。
Tanaka? Tanaka Hiro? What kind of name is that?
勇者じゃダメなの？
What's wrong with being named Hero? Well, nothing, but if you're a hero, you're strong, right?
もちろん。
Of course. Can you use magic?
グーテンタック。
Guten Tag means hello or good morning. No, wait, good day. It means good day, not good morning. What am I talking about? Whoa, awesome.
グーテンモーゲン。
That means good morning. Guten Morgen. Whoa.
ランランルー。
I don't know what that means. What kind of magic is that?
私もわからない。
I don't really know. You're weird.
さあ、帰ろうかな。
Anyway, I should get back. I remembered my first encounter with the young hero on the Sano rooftop clearly. I really must have some sort of mental illness to lock away such an important memory. It was pretty forgettable, I mean... Well, maybe not, or maybe it was. I mean, I can barely remember anything that happened in my early life. Except really, really deep things. Ooh. Now, Yusami's next. Before the high from spilling Gonsu's blood had subsided, I made my way to the Eastern District. I had decided upon a grave for Yusami Yoshinori's daughter long ago. Yusami should have heard about me from Tokita Yuki. I've told Tokita quite a bit about my activities. I've told her about the underground channel and about my connections to foreign nations. I even let her stay at one of my lairs once. All the information I gave her knowing she may betray me. Thus, I'm not concerned about Tokita's information hindering my plans. But it could make Yusami's gambits less predictable. In any case, ensuring that you're guiding your opponent's moves is Battle Strategy 101. The very fundamentals of combat. I'd say this calls for another game of tag. I wonder if that cell phone I gave Yusami has any minutes left on it. I try calling her. She quickly picks up. Yo, Yusami, how are you? Yusami moans. You killed Gonzo-san! The media must be having a blast with it by now. The whole city will erupt in pandemonium. The death of the Sonoyama Group boss, the most powerful member of the Sorua Alliance, is a hefty trigger. The scales of power in the underground will be completely upset. The other corporation front will fall also. How's Tokita Yuki doing? Will she be handing herself over to the police? Trespassing, attempted murder. She has quite the laundry list of crimes by now. If Tokita Yuki is arrested, it would be reverberate to the Special Investigations Unit of the police. Her father, Tokita Akihiro, is said to be a brilliant man. If I can, I'd rather like to avoid doing battle with him. Yusami simply ignored my provocations though. What do you want? I want to meet you. Yusami's breath halts. You know the park in the Eastern District, near Tsubaki's old house? There's a levee nearby that leads to a drainage channel. And you want me to go there? We can't just walk in nonchalantly. They don't allow visitors in the outer underground discharge channel at this time, you see? Is there another way in? Plenty. The structure takes in water from all the surrounding prefectures. Didn't your father ever tell you about it? Yusami didn't answer. There's a tunnel entrance a little over 200 yards west of the drainage channel. The fence is usually locked, but I'll open it as a service to you. Why, thank you. And don't worry about the water. The channel's empty at the moment. Inside the tunnel is warmer than outside. Very well. What's she acting so cool about? There's thunderstorm going on outside. It just roared in my background, but I don't think the microphone picked it up. This will be the final battle. Your final battle, that is. I'll choke you to death, just as my father did to yours. Oh, it's getting grim.
さあ、帰ろうかな。
What is this music? Anyway, I should get back. She called herself Hido. She hadn't done so for any reason in particular. She just saw the word Hido on the page in front of her. Then she felt like saying it. She didn't have any interest in the boy. She put her hand in her shorts pocket. Inside was a small pocket watch. It was a favorite of hers. After all, it had cute little penguins on it.
もう時間。帰る。
It's
それじゃ。
It's about time for me to go. Bye. Clutching her pocket watch, she stood up. Hey, wait! A strong wind pushed its way toward her. I have to close my windows. Well, there is a storm outside, alright. A strong wind pushed its way toward her. With tremendous force, it crawled up the building. It slung across her ankle and yanked her foot away from its solid grip. As she lost her balance, she finally, and for the first time, looked at the boy's face. Watch out! The boy reached out his hand. His desperate face neared her. He moaned. He struggled. He writhed. The light from the evening sky twinkled on her pocket watch. I'm going to fall, she thought. She was on the verge of death, yet she was calm. She merely had to pull out the trash bag and get in it before hitting the ground. The boy's breath tickled her ear, as if to spy the din of the rushing wind. Her vision was filled with an expanse of glowing orange sky. At some point, she had come to rest in his arms. He held her as if to protect her. She could feel his warmth. She was more embarrassed than scared. I said it was dangerous, didn't I, you stupid idiot? She felt his breath on her again. She finally understood that she'd been saved.
懐中時計。
My pocket watch! She muttered and searched her pockets. Of course, it wasn't there. It fell.
困る。
That's not good. You should be happy you didn't fall.
やだ。
No. The boy seemed to be angry. He let go of the girl and pouted. The girl went to the edge of the roof again.
あれ、お母さんからもらったの。
I got that from my mom. She looked down as if trying to find it. Of course, it would have been impossible for her to spot a pocket watch from 50 stories up. Was it important to you?
うん。でも諦める。
Yeah, but I'll give up. Are you sure? The girl turned to face the boy.
しょうがない。バラバラに砕けてしまっただろうし。
There's nothing I can do about it. It's been smashed to bits by now. She hung her head as she spoke. Don't say such sad things. She didn't mean to say that sad things. She just hung her head. Had the evening sun betrayed the feelings within her? All right, I'll find it for you. Wait right here. The boy turned around. She didn't understand. She had never asked him to find it for her. I said I gave up. But the girl couldn't spit out the words she had gathered up to stop the boy. Darkness fell. She stood there in a daze. It was probably about time for her violin practice. She waited. It got darker, and artificial lights took the place of the burning wet sky on the rooftop. Not a single star was in sight. The wind that had nearly robbed her of her life had brought thick clouds along with it. It was cold. She waited. The roof door was thrown open. Someone shouted happily. A shadow dashed toward her. Another voice shouted, even happier than the first. The girl vaguely realized that the second voice had been hers. The pocket watch was fine. There were a few small chips on it, but the smallest needle kept ticking away second by second. It was a miracle. Almost like magic, the boy said. The hero's magic. A warm fire burned in her childish mind. To her, the boy was the hero. She stared at the boy. He looked back at her with a gentle expression. She wanted to give him her thanks right away, but her rebellious heart wouldn't allow it. She couldn't help but feel embarrassed as he stared at her. Snow! The boy opened his arms wide, and I looked up at the black sky. He had looked away from her. This was her chance. She could say it now. Her heart had been aching holding it in. Aren't you cold? Want to wear my coat? His eyes met hers again. His thoughtfulness warmed her heart, but her shyness returned with a vengeance.
私、友達いなくて、お父さんもいつも仕事で忙しくて。
I don't have any friends. My dad is always busy with work. Her lips suddenly started moving. She couldn't stop them.
引っ越しばっかりで。そう、それで友達いなくて。それで、だから、みんな私のことを変なやつだって言って。だから友達いなくて。
I'm always moving, so I don't have any friends, and everyone, thinks I'm weird. That's why I don't have any friends. Well, that's me right there. I'm too weird for any normal friends. She realized she was growing flustered. She was usually more calm and able to speak logically.
本当驚くぐらい友達いなくて。
You'd be surprised how few friends I have. She was always ignored by the other kids her age. Thus she decided to ignore them too. She had once read the phrase lone wolf in a book. She decided that being a lone wolf was her goal.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. She apologized, choking back her tears. The emotional little girl in her finally surfaced. Hold it in, the girl said to herself. She'll just be dragged halfway across the world again. She won't be able to stay with the boy. Stay a lone wolf. Stay a lone wolf.
さよなら、もう帰る。
Well, bye! She ran away. Her conscience ate at her. As she ran off, the boy shouted his name. I'm Kyosuke! We'll see each other again! Right, hero? The girl didn't answer. Her legs just stopped moving. In a way, though, that was her answer. Kyosuke-kun. She said his name over and over in her mind. The snow covering Tomanbetsu City had piled high. In stark contrast, the snow covering the girl's heart was primed, prepared to be thawed. Oh, that's so unbelievably cheesy right now. She arrived at the meeting place Maou had mentioned and found a tunnel just under a gently sloped levee. She arrived at the meeting place Maou had mentioned and found a tunnel just under a gently sloped levee. Am I even pronouncing this right? She opened the broken gate, passed through a dim tunnel, and finally reached the underground channel. It was a monstrous white cavern. Supposedly, the room holds floodwater from the entire metropolitan area in the case of a disaster. Haru thought of her father, Yusami Yoshinori. She smelled cigarettes and heard the sound of mahjong tiles. Most of the memories she had of her father had at least one of those elements. Smoking and playing a game of mahjong. Great. She never had a chance to see another side of him. Her mother Kaoru had dragged her across the world with her. So when she heard he had been killed by a man named Samijima Toshikatsu, it didn't hit her too hard. His co-worker shed more tears at the funeral than she did. Well, I can see why, he was a prick. She merely thought her father was a well-loved man. It wasn't until much later that she realized her father had somewhat deserved his end. Rumor had it he passed his illegal gambling debts on to Samijima Toshikatsu in some nefarious scheme. Haru's mother swept her off to Germany in the meantime. The two fled the public's prying eyes. I can't blame Kyosuke-kun for resenting me. Those were heavy memories. She had met Kyosuke on the Sanou Corporation rooftop for many an idle conversation, and not once did they ever worry about their feuding families. Kyosuke was cheerful, eloquent, and courageous as a boy. The polar opposite of Haru, who was unable to fit into Japanese schools due to her German upbringing. Isn't that kind of racist? Yusami Haru's only friend was her hero, Samijima Kyosuke. Where's Maou? As if to brush away her warm memories, she focused on searching for her mother's murderer's footprints. Wait, when did Maou kill the mother? And for what reason? Which is even more important. Why did Maou kill her mother? I kinda wish that that the music would change, because now it's getting annoying. Reading a book again? I had found the girl's pocket watch just yesterday. I went out on the Sanou Corporation's roof today as well. I was hoping I might see that hero girl again.
また来たの?
You again? Yeah, I came to see you.
そうなんだ。で、何か用なの?
I see. I see. Well, do you want something? Let's play.
なんで私?
Why me? You know.
家族と遊んでれば.
Can't you play with your family? Dad is working. Mom is at the hospital. My brother is in another country.
外国?
Another country? Yeah, England. He's really smart.
年は結構離れてるの?
So, he's quite a bit older than you. About 10 years. But you're about the same age as me, right?
だったら何?
What about it?
友達になってくれるっていうの?
Wait, you mean you want to be friends with me? Of course.
でも、 私来週にはニューヨークに行くんだ。
But I have to go to New York next week. Why?
お母さんのお仕事についていくの。私も前座みたいなことするの。
I have to follow my mom's work. I'm her opening act. Opening act? What's that?
大勢の前でバイオリン弾くの。
I play the violin in front of lots of people. I really like air on the G string.
そうなんだ。
I see. I heard of it because my dad listens to it a lot. He's always listening to it these days.
だったら今度弾いてあげなくもないけど。
I could play it for you if you want, and you ask nicely. Oh yeah, and I like Erlkönig too.
もし
What? Are you even listening? I heard about that one at school. It's kind of dark but cool. Its title means devil.
魔王って。
Wait, why do you speak Erlkönig? I mean, that's how it's pronounced, Erlkönig in German. Why is it translated into Maou? I mean, to the devil. Hey, you come back, right? From New York?
まあいつになるかわからないけど、一応日本に家があるから。
I guess. But I don't know when Japan is my... But I don't know when. Japan is my home for now, though. What do you mean, for now?
別に。
Nothing. Are you lonely?
なんで？
Huh? Why? Your dad is always busy, right? Mine is too. And I had a babysitter a while ago, but she died.
そう。
I see. Her name was Kiyomi, and she was really cute. Wait. A baby sister! He had a baby sister. I read it as a babysitter. I'm so sorry. Name was Kiyomi, and she was really cute. But we are still happy. Sometimes my brother comes home too. Took a picture of him just a while ago. I can use a camera.
カメラくらい私も使えるよ。
Even I can use a camera. Next time I take a picture of you.
いいよ。なんで？
Okay. Why? It's a keepsake.
やだよ。私女の子っぽくないし。
Ew, no. I'm not girly enough for that. Don't worry about it. Come to my house sometime.
だからニューヨーク行くってば。
I told you I have to go to New York next week. I didn't say next week. I said sometime. Anytime. We can all have dinner together. I tell you the address.
考えておくけど、あまり期待しないでね。
I'll think about it, but don't count on it. The entrance to a dark tunnel looms before me. This is it, the outer underground discharge channel. Several footprints had trailed mud through the passage. Wait for me, Yusami. I listen in and hear footsteps echoing from afar. It's Yusami. She really came alone? This should be fun. I'd have expected her to call the cops. She must be drunk on heroism. She must want to catch me with her own hands. That, or she must have decided I'd run away with my tail between my legs if she let police into my trap. Either way, she's come to die. What a foolish hero. She stubbornly chased me all this way despite her powerlessness. That really reminds me of a lot of RPGs where you are actually powerless the first few encounters, but you still push forward and try again. And for some reason, the evildoer, the big bad boss doesn't finish you off and you grow stronger with every defeat somehow. And then you finally can overcome him. She'd have done better to live the quiet life of a violinist. It's time to end this. Over here, Yusami! I shouted an invitation to her deathbed. As I anxiously awaited my reunion with Hiro, my life took a turn for the worse. The police called the house one night. They informed us that my father, Samijima Toshikatsu, had been arrested for murder. Oh, yeah, okay. I never forget my mother's strength and kindness. That bitter night. What's wrong? I asked her. Nothing, she replied, smiling. The next day I was scared to go to school. I had been a leader in my class until then, but after the incident I had no place there. Are you alright, Kyosuke-kun? You look like you might collapse. If there's something on your mind, you can always tell me, okay? My teacher reassured me during homeroom. When she did so, my classmates' apprehensive stares twitched. Everyone be nice to Kyosuke-kun. He and his dad are two different people. He didn't do anything wrong. We should try to support him. Oh, claps to the teacher. That teacher has all her shit together. Thank you. Even though it's still embarrassing if you call to the class like that, but then again, they are still young, so I don't know how bad it would be. That triggered the bullying. Of course, childs are the most gruesome people of all. Adults who are criminals were either bullied as a child or were bullies themselves and were just a cruel child to begin with. So, the next time you pick on someone or are mean to someone who is younger than you, or in any case, think about it this way. That could have triggered the next murder, and you could be the target. Not that I threaten anyone about that, but that's something to keep in mind. Just slight punches to the mind of people can trigger them really hard to murder. Oh, but I think then the internet would blow up like I don't know, like the sun. On the other hand, because of the anonymousness of the internet, I don't even know. Just forget it. Or not, I don't know. Do what you want with that. The kids started throwing around the term death penalty as a joke. And come recess, I often found a jump rope knotted menacingly on my desk. I came home to my mother slumped in a chair when she would typically be cheerfully cooking. With a broken face, one that had clearly given up, she welcomed me thusly. Did anyone say anything to you at school? I panicked and quickly put both hands to my neck to hide the bruising. The doorbell rang incessantly. I opened the door to a swarm of buzzing reporters and cameras. The bright flashes blinded me. Despicable reporters! really have no dignity whatsoever. Hey, don't take photos of the kid. I'll crop him out later. Hey kid, do you mind? Go get your mom, son. I was overwhelmed by the wall of people. I tried to close the door, but they shot their hands out at me like a pack of zombies. They jammed their feet in the threshold, refusing to allow me to escape. After one of them stubbornly shoved the camera through the gap, I lost consciousness. From that day forth, my life was hell. Day after day, hordes, packs, swarms of media stormed my once peaceful home. Oh yeah, great, a murder occurs, and now we are pestering the family to make their life more miserable than it already is without them ever agreeing on that. And if we can interview them, we just make up hilarious stories that bring in all the money. God damn it. Neighbors shut their mouth off about my family. And every time we nearly lost ourselves in this earthly chaos, a lone shark from the underworld named Azai Gonzo returned to collect his due. Wow, neighbors, douches of the world, well, most of them at least, not all of them maybe, and this asshole who has no heart. My saving grace, what remained of my family, my mother and brother. Whatever happened to his brother? Samijima Kyohei had rushed back to Japan when he heard the news. He didn't stay for long though. He merely reprimanded me a few times, supported Mom for a little while, offered a stick of incense to our late sister's portrait, and planned one more brief trip to Britain to drop out of school. However, he had other plans for my mother and me. Kyohei was caught in a subway bombing in London and lost his life. Oh hell! Had other plans for my brother. He wanted to support the family and got killed by a bombing? Fucking terrorists! That's the only reason I really enjoy living in a remote town and at the end of the world almost. Well, at the end of my country. We have only one major town here, which I visit more or less frequent. Kyohei's funeral was a sad event on many levels. I mean, this much dense background story, they could have put it in way earlier, but instead it dragged so out for long. This is something that really nags on me right now. Some parts are really dragged out. And this is really interesting information right now. Really densed up in so few minutes. Apparently the bomb's blast was so powerful that not even the scrap of his body was found. Jesus. With Dad unavailable, Mother acted as chief mourner. I think she was at her limits. The deep despair had painted an impossible pallor on her face. The relatives in town for mourning had taken care of the funeral arrangements, apparently hoping to help Mom out. But behind the caring facade, they were all conspiring to strip my father's assets from him. Despite being tormented by debt, he had always adamantly refused to sell the house. He saw the house as the last stronghold of his family. And besides, why should we have to sell off the house which held our memories of Kyohei Nissan and Kiyomi to pay off a debt we shouldn't rightfully have? Of course, that logic didn't work on our relatives, because some relatives are real dicks. Luckily not mine. My relatives are all really kind and helpful. Well, maybe a few not, but... well... No, they are basically all. One of my uncles had lent father money to pay off his debts. With land that was worth over 275,000 yen per square foot, just ripe for the taking. It was only natural for him to take initiative and put his all into this little event. My brother Kyohei's funeral was neither a celebration of life nor a moment of sorrow, but a farce centered around the sparkling of gold.
Kyosuke-kunも大きくなったべな。
You sure are big these days, Kyosuke-kun. This particular uncle was a self-sustaining fisherman from Hokkaido. My father was the only successful person in his family. He was raised poor, but studied like a madman to get into a top university and land his job with Sanoo Corporation. His brothers must have been jealous and likely asked him for money often. That on top of the 100 yen Dad sent home to his family every month. You'd think my uncles would be a little more loyal after all that money.
清美ちゃんは残念だったべな。年数も50を間近に子供なんか作るから。
And it was downright unfair about Kiyomi-chan, but I reckon that's what happens when you have a kid at nearly 50. Even as a child, I could feel the evil intent hiding behind their kind faces. I could hear their whispers from the other side of the shut sliding doors. Toshikatsu's such a damn buffoon. You know, he never was one to talk things over with us. His wife's got it tough too. She's a Toyama family girl, but I hear her folks won't let her come home unless she divorces Toshikatsu. Don't look to me like that's gonna happen. I told him time and time again, these inlander women are scary. Sure, she's got it tough and all, but she's rolling in Toshikatsu's dough. Are you all fucking insane? She may be a cute little thing, but she's too old to have any more kids. I'll take care of it, just leave it to me. You mean the money? I'm sure the good Lord wouldn't mind if we took a little something from a guy who decided he'd rather cause trouble than support his family. What douches! I wonder why I'm in a place like this as I listen to the priest chanting sutras. I can't stand the music anymore! It's too loud and way too obnoxious, and it seems to be way too short as well. Just a few days ago, I had plenty of friends. My family was happy, and the sky from the Sanoo Corporation rooftop spread far around me. Now my father's in a cell. My mother seems about to faint. My brother was so thoroughly eliminated from this world that there's nothing left of him to mourn. And to add insult to injury, the media and my family circle like vultures, willing to watch us suffer for a buck. Why do I have to go through this hell? Why must I struggle on the spider's web? Why do I have to be afraid of people's stares and whispers? There was someone looking down on me as I held my knees in the corner of the room.
京介くん、おっかさんにお願いしてもらえんべか?
Hey there, Kyosuke-kun. Would you mind asking your mom a favor for us? You dare to demand a favor from a family that lost the husband, that lost a baby, that lost a child and beloved brother, and you have the nerve to ask for a favor while they are also in deep debt they shouldn't have and got betrayed by a so-called friend? His fake smile was so unlike my father's that I found it hard to believe they were brothers.
おっかさんに実家に帰ってもらえんかの?
You think you could convince your mom to take it easy for a little while and spend some time at her folks' place? He was telling us to hand over the house in a roundabout way. You fucking scumbags.
京介君も辛いべよ。よその学校の方がいいべよ。
I bet you'd like a chance at going to another school too. It's gotta be tough on you, Kyosuke-kun. I'm staying with Mom. Annoyed that he couldn't pick a better time, I stood up against him.
星勝さんの夫さんはえらいことをしたんだわ。そういうことをしたもんはよ、家族ひっくるめて家を出ていくもんなんだべよ。
Toshikatsu did? Your daddy did something real bad. When you do something like that, you oughta leave the house with your kinfolk. That's just common decency. Fuck off, you little prick! Leave this funeral at once! Dad didn't do anything wrong! He muttered, then turned around to his other brothers. They don't usually engage in open confrontation. They just use sly means to get their way. I'm so sorry. See, the evilness of them let me almost throw up. And I only had water. Well, it's water with a little extra, but no alcohol. It's just water with... I don't know how it is. Well, it's just with a little bit flavor in it.
いいか、京介。夫さんは4人も殺したんよ。人殺しだべ。夫さんを信じるのはいいが、人殺しが悪くないと言ったらいかん。
Are you just dumb as hell? You're talking to a child here. How low do you have to be trying to convince a child? Look, Yosuke, your dad killed 4 people. Who did he kill? He killed 1 person, didn't he? He's a murderer. It's all fine and dandy to believe in your old man, but you gotta draw the line somewhere. Murder is wrong, son. And being a little shit is also not right. But Mom loves Dad too.
そりゃ旦那が金さ持ってるからだべ。そんなことよう言えんから、こうして身内が気をもんでるんだわ。子供にはわからんだろうがの。
Well, he's got money. But well, I reckon she can't just up and say that. So that's what's Folka at the end of our rope here. You probably don't understand all this talk. Tough. Wait, all this though? Seeing as you are still just a kid and all. His face grew more threatening.
一方的ですまんがよ。わしの言うことを聞きなさい。頼れる身内もおらんのだべよ。
You little piece of ass! Go die somewhere! Sorry for being so pushy, but you better just listen to what I say. You and your mom don't got anyone else to rely on. You don't want to upset her, do you? My body shakes in anger and I realize I can't escape him. No! Come on! You think he would slap you? Alright. I don't want to upset her. I nodded to that. But my uncles heaved a relieved sigh, thinking they'd won me over. I was just thinking of my mother. What could she say in her defense with the whole family ganging up on her? Would anyone believe her if she alone pleaded her innocence? She did nothing wrong, I thought. This is unfair. Oh yes, it is. I was angry at myself for being powerless and ignorant. If Dad were here, he'd beat them up. If Kyohei were here, he'd chase them off with eloquent words. Anyone. I I wished for anyone to come save us. If just one person came to defend my mother's honor. Even if it accomplished nothing, I would be satisfied. The sutras end, and I crouch to the floor. If I let myself be seen crying, I've lost. I grit my teeth desperately, trying to bear the pressure. The door at the back slides open.
お邪魔します。
It's Haru! Sorry for the interruption. When did she come back from New York? With an unbelievable amount of gumption for that tiny body, the young hero had jumped in.
兄ちゃんにお線香をあげに来ました。
I've come to make an offering for my brother. Everyone was in a clamor at the sudden intruder.
どこの子だ。場所をわきまえなさい。
No, who are you? Do you know where you are? My eyes met with hers. She must have guessed what was happening, seeing me with tears of anguish in my eyes. Hero stared my uncle down.
場所をわきまえるのはお前らの方だ。
You are the one who don't know where you are? It sounds like she overheard the conversation. No way. Kiyomi-chan? Don't be stupid. Kiyomi died. But she said her brother. The adults seem to have just realized that this is a funeral. Some kid, none of them knows, suddenly showed up. They looked at the girl with white faces, as if they'd seen a ghost.
お前ら寄ってたかって白いものを黒だと抜かし、おっかさんや京介君をいじめるのか？
Are you all really ganging up on Mom and Kyosuke, trying to blame innocent people? Her intelligence and courage stopped my tears. Courage, I mean.
わざわざ天国から出張ってきたんだ。ふざけたこと抜かしたらまとめて連れて帰るぞ。
I came all the way down here from heaven. Keep spouting crap, and I'll take you back with me.
そんな。
No way. My uncle's face, warped with greed not half a moment ago, was now clearly grayling. Oh, this is so amazing. It was awesome. Hero came and saved me from this hellish place. It was only then that Mom shed her first tears. Maybe she really believed Kiyomi had appeared. The tears on her cheeks bore hints of a hue other than sadness. Oh, the music stopped, yes! But there's something really fishy right now. There is something really fishy right now. Everything of this is good and is nice and good, but why? Oh God, why does Maou want to kill her? Why? What did Haru do that Maou wants to kill her? What did she do? She seems to be the most lovable girl there. So what is the problem? Oh well, I think what I'm gonna do is ending the episode right here for the sole reason that I'm now reached, I think, an hour or so, and that there are ... and ... means there's a transition, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it so far. Leave a like if you did, and I will hopefully forget the like. You don't need to like if you don't like to. And I hopefully will see you in the next episode then. Stay tuned.